What if I were to share that the soul doesn't merely cease to exist upon death, but rather embarks on an extraordinary journey, one that is both enigmatic and sacred, evoking trepidation in many who dare to discuss it? Edgar Cayce, famously referred to as the sleeping prophet, revealed unsettling insights about the fate of the soul during the first 40 days following our passing. These are not merely abstract spiritual notions or lyrical expressions. They are profound truths that could fundamentally alter your perception of both death and life. Picture this. Your body lies still. Your heart no longer beats. Yet your soul vibrates with life more intensely than ever. You observe everything happening around you. You can feel and think, yet you're no longer connected to the physical realm. The next phase is not merely light or shadow, comfort or anxiety. It's a process, a sacred sequence that dictates the direction of your soul and the challenges it must encounter. According to Cayce, those 40 days are crucial. If you're intrigued by the afterlife, have lost someone and ponder their current existence, or are simply in search of insights that go beyond what religion or science provides, remain with us. What you are about to learn might challenge your beliefs, but it has the potential to bring solace to your spirit. We encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments section. We truly value each one and will show our appreciation by marking insightful contributions with a heart. This is our way of thanking you for being part of our journey. Additionally, remember to subscribe and enable notifications to stay updated on the insights we share. Together, let's expand this community. Now take a moment to breathe deeply and get ready to explore what Edgar Cayce uncovered regarding the soul's journey in the initial 40 days following death. As soon as the soul departs from the physical form, it feels as if time halts, but consciousness remains intact. Edgar Cayce referred to this as a holy passage. Breathing ceases and the heart falls silent, yet you remain acutely aware, not in the same manner as when you were alive, but through a richer, more profound awareness. You can observe the surroundings, hear the sorrow of your loved ones, but you are unable to reach out to them, nor can they sense your presence. In those initial moments following death, Cayce explained, the soul undergoes a peculiar kind of limbo, a state in which it recognizes its separation from the physical body, yet hasn't fully connected with the realm of the spirit. This experience is saturated with inquiries, vivid recollections, and profound self-reflection. The soul embarks on an examination of its life, perceiving it not merely as a sequence of occurrences, but rather as a continuum of emotions. What it offered, what it received, whom it supported, and whom it harmed. Each deed and intention rushes back with remarkable clarity. Cayce noted that during this phase, the soul faces no judgment from an outside authority. Instead, it is assessed by its own higher self. This self is free from ego or delusion. It perceives everything as it genuinely is. This understanding can evoke feelings of both tranquility and fear. Cayce mentioned that for the initial 3 days, the soul remains near the physical body, not out of desire, but out of necessity. This is an integral part of the inherent process of separation. Just as one emerges from a dream, the soul needs time to grasp that it is no longer linked to the physical form. It watches the funeral proceedings, listens to the prayers, and senses the atmosphere filled with emotions. Striving to reach out, it yearns to bid farewell and offer explanations, but soon understands that few can perceive it, not through their ears. Only those with profound intuition or a deep emotional bond can detect its existence. This is the reason why some individuals mention experiencing a shiver or an unexpected surge of feelings during a funeral. It's not just a fantasy. It's the soul making a final attempt to reach out. As the initial 72 hours go by, a transformation occurs. There's a tug. The soul begins to sense a pull toward a more elevated existence. As stated by Cayce, this marks the moment when spiritual guides start to manifest. These guides are not unfamiliar. They represent energies we recognize. They are souls we have encountered in previous lifetimes, or elevated beings with whom we have previously connected in spiritual dimensions. Their presence brings a sense of tranquility, akin to a soft voice reassuring you that you're not on your own. As the fourth day progresses, the spirit starts its journey into what Cayce referred to as the intermediate realm. This is a space that exists between the earthly and the divine. In this realm, the soul faces no judgment. It is not penalized. It is directed. This plane is customized to resonate with the vibrational frequency of the soul. What does this imply? It signifies that your soul is drawn to a reality that mirrors your authentic spiritual condition. Should you have led a life characterized by kindness, personal growth, and continuous learning, you may discover yourself in a radiant, tranquil setting. Conversely, if your existence was fueled by hatred, greed, or cruelty, you might find yourself in an atmosphere that reflects those same energies. This is not intended as punishment, but rather as a means of reflection. Cayce highlighted that these initial days are not centered around concepts of heaven or hell. Instead, they focus on awareness. The soul starts to gain insight into its own essence. It reaches a level of understanding that was impossible during its earthly existence. Illusions begin to unravel. In this space, self-deception is not an option. Assigning blame to others is also not possible. You stand directly in front of your true nature. For some, the reflection can be startling. For others, it brings a sense of freedom. Between the 5th and 10th day, a new change initiates. The spirit begins to meet other souls, some known, some unfamiliar. These aren't apparitions. They are aware beings navigating their individual spiritual journeys. Interaction occurs not through speech, but through thought. According to Cayce, telepathic exchange is the universal tongue of the afterworld. In this domain, everything consists of energy. Your emotions, thoughts, and memories can be seen. They shape your surroundings. Thus, if you harbor guilt, it integrates into your environment. When you embody love, it envelops you like radiant light. This is where numerous souls start to grasp their initial profound lesson. Consciousness shapes reality. Cayce cautioned that certain souls become trapped in this phase, clinging to their regrets. They fixate on unresolved matters. They are unwilling to let go. Such spirits may linger in this transitional realm for many years, occasionally even for decades, until they decide to free themselves from their ties. However, for some, the path goes on. During the period from day 11 to day 20, the soul frequently experiences what Cayce referred to as a calling. It's not merely a sound, it's a profound internal awareness, a draw towards a realm of knowledge. Here the soul starts to grasp the framework of the spiritual realm. It steps into what countless individuals have referred to as the Hall of Records, or the Temple of Education. Cayce asserted that these concepts are not mere legends. These are real locations within the spiritual realm that are open to souls prepared for development. In this space, the soul encounters wise entities, elders, mentors, and guides who exude compassion and strength. Their purpose isn't to inflict punishment, but to uncover truths. The soul receives visions, experiences from previous lifetimes, decisions made, lost chances, and concealed potentials. This isn't about instilling guilt in the soul. Rather, it's about guiding it to comprehend its journey, the reasons for its existence, what it has accomplished, and what tasks are still ahead. Cayce held the view that numerous souls opt to reincarnate after reaching this point, not out of obligation, but due to the recognition that their work is unfinished. As time moves into the third week following death, a significant transformation begins. The soul, now more aware of its true nature and intentions, begins to recall not only the existence it has just departed from, but also multiple past lives. As described by Cayce, the soul is everlasting, and during this phase, the barrier between dimensions diminishes. Remembrances from earlier lifetimes emerge intentionally, rather than as mere disjointed pieces. The soul starts to perceive the connections among all lives, recognizing how decisions taken centuries ago continue to influence the present. For certain souls, this realization can be quite daunting. They come to understand that they have gone through the same teachings repeatedly. Meanwhile, some experience a surge of insight, as if the fragments of life have finally aligned perfectly. There's a feeling of a higher purpose behind everything. Nothing happens by chance. Every connection, every moment of pain, and every instance of happiness all holds significance. For the first time, the spirit perceives the complete journey of its growth. This realization evokes either a sense of serenity or a profound longing for atonement. Cayce mentioned that this is the moment when numerous souls commit to returning in order to amend what was left unresolved. By the 30th day, the soul attains a certain level of stability. It is no longer adrift or seeking. Instead, it starts to feel prepared to progress, prepared to ascend. Yet there remains one final step, one final mirror. Cayce referred to it as an encounter with one's higher self, a luminous divine aspect that has eternally existed outside the confines of time. This self is distinct from your ego and personality. It represents the most authentic form of your soul's essence. Engaging with it is not akin to gazing into a reflection. Rather, it feels like returning home. For some individuals, this encounter is fleeting. For some, this represents the most profound shift in their spiritual journey. The higher self communicates beyond language, revealing your true essence, not your earthly identity, but your eternal self. It offers you an option: remain in the spiritual realm to continue your learning, or return to earth with a fresh purpose. Cayce stressed that nothing is imposed. The soul always has the power to choose. As the 40-day journey nears its conclusion, the majority of souls have made their decisions. Those still in the spiritual realm frequently join what Cayce referred to as the soul group, a collective of spirits that grow together through various lifetimes. This group acts as your spiritual family. You have encountered them before and will encounter them again. Some have been your parents, some your children, and others were individuals who appeared right when you needed them most. It's no accident. It's intentional. The soul starts to recognize that love, rather than knowledge, is the true currency of the universe. Everything else, power, success, and even suffering, eventually diminishes. However, love endures and transforms into a pathway for the next stage. Whether this stage is one of rest, renewal, or elevation is contingent upon the soul's growth. By the time day 40 arrives, the expedition that commenced with silence and uncertainty culminates in understanding. The soul no longer experiences fear or solitude. It is aware. When the 40th day comes, a lasting transformation occurs within the soul's energetic framework. It resembles a door shutting while another quietly swings open. Edgar Cayce pointed out that, at this stage, the soul has either tuned into its upcoming phase of development or is caught in a loop of uncertainty, still tied to worldly issues. However, for those souls that have come to terms with their exit, accepted their reality, embraced their history, and re-established their connection to their divine nature, the path takes a profoundly tranquil direction. Cayce described this condition as spiritual attunement. It represents a frequency that the soul aligns with, enabling it to elevate to higher dimensions, come back with a more significant purpose, or even act as a mentor for other souls who are at the onset of their journey. These are not mere illusions. As per Cayce, these roles are indeed concrete and are consciously selected. Not every soul comes back to Earth. Certain individuals dedicate themselves to serving others, offering support to family members, aiding those overwhelmed by sorrow, or engaging in what Cayce referred to as domains of healing and renewal. Spaces where spirits shattered by trauma find solace in spiritual rejuvenation. A key takeaway from Cayce's teachings is this: death is not the conclusion, nor is the 40th day a finality. It represents a pivotal moment, a spiritual landmark. Much like a student advances to the next grade, the soul transitions into its subsequent stage, equipped with greater awareness, enhanced purpose, and increased illumination. However, Cayce also cautioned that this journey does not happen by itself. The experiences we have after death are completely influenced by how we choose to live in the present. If we neglect the soul, pursue only worldly possessions, and avoid self-reflection, we end up unready. We find ourselves disoriented and puzzled. On the other hand, if we strive to live purposefully, pursue spiritual development, assist others, and heed our inner voice, we are better prepared. We wake up prepared, prepared to learn, prepared to forgive, prepared to elevate ourselves. This is the reason Cayce dedicated numerous years to cautioning people to get ready, not just for death, but for what comes after, as the true journey doesn't begin when the heart ceases to beat. It commences when we first recognize our soul. So, what implications does this have for you at this moment? It signifies that every thought counts, each act of love, every instance of forgiveness, and every choice to select kindness instead of anger. These gestures may seem insignificant, but they serve as the foundation for your journey beyond this existence. When you eventually depart from this world, and you will, you cannot carry your wealth or your accolades with you. The only thing that you will take is what you have cultivated within yourself. That is what awaits you in the initial 40 days. That's what shapes your reality. Therefore, begin. We're presenting this opportunity not from a place of fear, but from a standpoint of wisdom. Cayce held the belief that we are not merely humans undergoing a spiritual journey. Rather, we are spiritual entities experiencing humanity. The greater our understanding of this, the less we fear death. Consequently, we start to embrace life more completely. With your newfound awareness of the soul's journey during those holy 40 days, consider this. What actions are you taking today that your soul will appreciate in the future? If this message resonated with you, please share your thoughts in the comments. We would love to hear your viewpoint, and if your comment offers valuable insights, we will acknowledge it with a heart to express our gratitude. Assist in expanding this channel by subscribing and enabling notifications to ensure you never overlook a video. Pass this along to someone who needs this message. Your engagement aids in disseminating these uplifting messages. Keep in mind, death isn't the conclusion. It merely marks the start of something much more profound. Let's pause for a moment to delve even further. Picture someone dear to you who has left this world. You found yourself at their memorial. Tears streamed down your face. You offered up prayers. But perhaps you've also pondered, where are they currently? What emotions are they experiencing? Are they at ease? Cayce's insights provide not only solace, but also a deep response to that inquiry. Your cherished one, in their own special manner, traversed this same 40-day journey. They reflected on their lives. They thought of you. They recalled instances that you may have overlooked. He sensed your love in the stillness of their body, and if they were prepared and receptive to transformation, they encountered guides who helped them heal from past regrets, leading them into the brightness of insight. The deceased are not truly absent, not in the manner we typically perceive. They are merely traversing a route that we have not yet experienced, a route that will eventually embrace us. This is why Edgar Cayce's teachings hold such significance. They serve as a reminder that existence extends beyond the physical realm, that love endures, and our actions today resonate beyond this existence. Now picture yourself many years into the future, arriving at your own last moments. You draw your final breath, and in that silence, you come to a new awareness. You start to perceive the faces of those who departed before you. Their thoughts reach you, and you sense their presence. You no longer feel fear, for you comprehend what is unfolding, having taken the necessary steps to get ready. You realize that this marks the start of the journey of the soul, rather than its conclusion. With elegance, you enter the reflection of your life. You embrace, you release, you awaken. This is the strength of consciousness. This is the blessing of this understanding. It transcends mere data. It brings about change. As we gain knowledge, we also broaden our horizons. With this expansion comes a new form of bravery, a bravery that gently reminds us that we are greater than our physical selves and that we are everlasting. Therefore, if this message ignited something within you or shifted your perspective on life, death, or the essence of the soul, hold on to it. Let it not diminish. Keep it close. Allow it to influence your decisions. Let it enhance your empathy and kindly assist others in recognizing it as well. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Activate the notification bell to ensure you don't overlook what's coming up next. Feel free to leave a comment with your insights, questions, or experiences. We pay attention to every one of them. If your contributions bring something meaningful, we'll promote it with care. Together, we're creating a space for honesty, belief, and illumination in a world that is in great need of it. The journey of your soul doesn't start with death. It actually begins in this moment. The greater your awareness, the more exquisite that journey turns out to be.